Dark Holiday, a Lance Brody novel, Book 6, written by Michael Robertson, Jr., narrated by Joe Cliff Thompson. Chapter 1. It was not a diner, but the chain restaurant with the ambient lighting and the pretty hostess and the cloth napkins and the menu with entrees whose descriptions included adjectives such as broiled or seared or, Lance's personal favorite, aged to perfection, had good coffee. The waiter had made a show of presenting Lance and Leah with their mugs from the tray he carried, and had then set a large French press on the table between them, along with a small container of sugar packets and a minuscule carafe of creamer. Lance had poured, filling both their mugs, and Leah had added 1 packet of sugar and a few splashes of the cream. Lance drank his black. After the first sip, he'd been unable to suppress his smile. "What are you grinning about?" Leah asked, stirring her coffee and gently setting the spoon on the saucer that the waiter had made such a production of setting before her. She took a small sip. "I'm glad you chose this place," Lance said. "Don't tell me you've only decided this now that you've had their coffee. You didn't exactly take your time with that steak and sweet potato." Lance smiled again and shrugged. The quality of the coffee is of the utmost importance when it comes to judging one's dining establishments. Leah rolled her eyes. "Says the guy who's been gulping down jet fuel from every greasy spoon between here and Virginia." Lance kept his grin, but he turned and looked out the window, watched the snowflakes fall slowly through the night air, peppering the parking lot. The thought of Virginia, of his hometown, had caused that familiar twinge of pain somewhere deep down inside him. It was smaller now. Time heals all wounds, they say, but still alive. It had only been a few months since that horrible night when his world had completely fallen apart with the death of his mother at the hands of the Reverend and the surfer. But with all that Lance had been through since, it was starting to feel like a lifetime ago. Another life altogether. Which, in a way, he supposed it was. One chapter of his life had ended, and another had begun. Sometimes he felt guilty that the pain of his mother's death had become more of a numbness inside him than the gaping, flaming wound it had been before. But he tried, and often was successful, at pushing that thought away. Because while the pain had dulled, the memory of Pamela Brody and the life they'd shared together in Hillston was still as alive and as bright as ever. Lance constantly heard her in his head, still guiding him, encouraging him, comforting him, and he would cling on to these memories until the day he died. His mother had made her choice, ending her life so Lance could continue his. "My sweet boy, oh, what great things you'll do," Lance thought. "I'm trying, Mom. I really am." He turned back to the table and found Leah staring at him. "Where'd you go?" she asked. Lance knew his mother would have loved Leah. How he wished they could have met. Lance also knew it was because of Leah that the emptiness that had been left behind after his mother's death had started to be...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?